What's up, guys? It's me, Alan. I am back with another video. If I sound dead, it's because I woke up about 18 minutes ago as of the beginning of this recording. But today's my 22nd birthday. Holy shit. 22 years. It's crazy. Um, and the last year, since from when I turned 21 to now, has been legit insane. It has been wild. There's just so much that's happened. Um, And there's a lot of people that I want to thank for that because you guys have made the 21st year of my life probably one of, if not the best year of my life, all things considered. And um, hopefully, the 22nd year of my life will be just as awesome um, as the last. So, with that being said, thank you all for being here. Thank you to everybody who subscribed to the channel. I guess we'll start there. And if you are new here, please make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications because I am so close to 950 subscribers. The last time I checked, I was at like 11 back of that, and that's an insane number for me. I don't know if I'm gonna get to 1,000 by the end of the year, but the fact that I've gotten this far is insane. And I think it has a lot to do with, you know, people just subscribing thanks to the YouTube shorts with all the entrances and whatnot, which honestly, shortening those when I record them has been a fucking godsend. Um, because when one of them hits, it hits. Um, y'all y'all have done so much for me. Um, I don't know where I was at last year, but at this time, but to see where I'm at now is insane. It's crazy how much this channel has grown, and I thank you guys for that. Um, I guess in terms of thanking individual people, of course that has to start with my mom and dad. Um, you know, they've helped me out a lot. Living with my mom, there's a lot that I do around here to, with how much she works and when she goes into work and all this other stuff. And then with my dad, just taking him to all these different wrestling shows that I've taken him to, plus Monster Jam, plus Shell's No Prep Kings, plus some other stuff. Um, Even just visiting him at his house every now and again. I'll be there later tonight as well. Um, Helping him out with getting wood from out back and all this other stuff. Um, you know, it's it's awesome. It really is. Um, I might get emotional. But it's crazy to think that the weekend after I turned 21, went to my first wrestling show. I was originally going to go by myself, and then I ended up taking my dad with me because I'd never been to Worcester before, and that's what spurned me taking him to all these other shows this year. So you just gotta love how life works out like that. um, you know, while I was at work yesterday, I actually ran into him again. Um, I want to thank Kirby Wackerman and Blitzkrieg Pro. First of all, thank you guys for allowing me to keep my recordings of y'all's matches from the shows I've been to up on my channel. Which that's no shade to any other company that I've recorded matches for and then or of and then um were asked to take down. It's not a big deal. You know, a lot of these other indie shows that I've been to, those promotions have platforms that they post their stuff to. So I understand. Blitzkrieg doesn't have that. Even though they have a YouTube channel, they just haven't posted to it in freaking years. And being friends with some of the people that run Blitzkrieg Pro, that obviously helps. Um, but Kirby, I've told this story before. Um, I was working self checkout at Walmart. Came in. He was wearing an NWO shirt. We got to talking. There was a little bit of miscommunication at first about how involved he was, but in the end, finding out, that he was a big part of Blitzkrieg Pro led me to going to their Brattleboro debut show. Because they've obviously been around, but they hadn't done a show in Brattleboro, Vermont before. And so I went, and ever since then, I've gone to a bunch of indie shows, and I've got more coming. I mean, hell, I'm going to three of them next week. Two of them being Blitzkrieg shows because one of them had to get moved from August. I'm planning on doing a couple of shows at Restival this year. I'm planning on going to GCW in Hartford this year, in December. Like, my schedule is outside of work and college. It's gonna be wild, man. And I have Kirby to thank for that because he's the primary reason why I've gotten into indie wrestling as much as I have, and I'm so fucking glad for it. Um, because going to these shows, no matter how far I have to travel, and I try to travel within reasonable distance, aside from going to New York. Uh, but going to all these shows has been incredible. It really is. If you've never been to an indie wrestling show before, please go. No matter how big or small, the shows are always awesome, at least for me. I have not had a bad experience yet, and I don't think I ever will. Um, and on that front, because of Kirby and because of getting into indie wrestling like that, I got to meet Desiree, the sister of Alec Price. No, I'm not making that up. She is so fucking nice. And I have a lot to thank for her because one, again, because of how nice she's been, but also, just she's just awesome. You know, like she gets to live the life of, well, being the sister to one of the best independent professional wrestlers out there. She has two boys of her own, one of which I believe is adopted, if I'm not mistaken. I believe she's told me. And she gets to travel fucking everywhere and see so much. And I told her if I had all the money in the world, I would travel all over the country to go see independent wrestling fucking everywhere. I wish I could live that life, but I ain't jealous. I'm just proud, and I'm so glad to know her. It's she's a genuinely nice person, as long as you don't fuck around. Because if you fuck around, she ain't gonna look at you the same again. Just saying. But she's absolutely awesome. Her boys are awesome. Alex awesome. Best friend Jordan Oliver, another top independent professional wrestler, awesome. They're all awesome. They really are. Uh, and it's always a joy to see Des at the shows. Um, Whenever I can. It's wherever Alex going, 9 times out of 10, she's gonna be there. Um, and so there's gonna be a few more shows that I'll get to see her at and all that. So, yeah, I she's awesome. She really is. And go out of your way to meet her sometime. She's a warm smile. She's a helpful hand. She's just incredible. She really is. Um, Again, it just feels like there's so many people to thank. Obviously, you know, other family members. If y'all remember back in December, I got to go to Wyoming to see my older sister Rihanna. And her, while she was pregnant at the time, went with my dad. So that was my first time flying in like literal years. I hadn't flown since I was really little. So that was an awesome trip. The flight back was, but so there's that. There's other family members all over the place that I wish I could see more often. And maybe as I get older, I could, as I travel more, I probably could. Um, Admittedly, I do want to thank my ex-girlfriend for something. One, for all the good times that we had, but also, and I hate to steal a line from Bailey Zimmerman's song, um, but she showed me what true love shouldn't be. I'm not going to go into details about it. I'm not going to go into what the fuck happened. I haven't told that the story on YouTube, and I'm not going to. I've told it to people, but at the end of the day, it shit happens, you know. But I do want to thank her for the fact of that you showed me what true love shouldn't be, and I'm hoping that maybe one day I will find someone that you know cares and whatnot. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, there's just and the thing is, it's not even just people that like help me directly. It's also like indirect too. Like, I've said, if you follow me on Twitter, I've said before how, there's a lot of wrestlers who I look at as inspirations, whether to me or to other people. Um, MJF's a big one. Um, you know, he talks off in some of his promos about how he has ADD. I have the opposite. I have ADHD. So he has attention deficit disorder. I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So it's just a little extra. And I also have autism. But he talks about all the shit that he's been through, both with that and being a Jew and all this other stuff, and how it's led him to where he's at in his wrestling career. And um, the dude can be a prick, but that's just his character, it's which he does it IRL, so he sticks to it. But he's sort of learning both in a literal sense and in a mental sense, that not everybody is an asshole. Um, which this partnership with Adam Cole, though, Cole's hurt and probably going to turn on him eventually, but um, this whole thing between the two of them has helped him out a lot. And the fans, of course, he's their scumbag, literally. But yeah, there's that. And Kid Bandit's the one, oh my God. It still pains me. It still pains me that when I went to New York last weekend to go to Catalyst Wrestling, it still pains me that when I watched Masha versus Vita, which ended up opening the show, um, to battle for the new women's title for Catalyst Wrestling, it still pains me that Kid wasn't there because she was hurt because she had gotten hurt a couple weeks earlier and couldn't compete. Uh, but it hurts because again, I've said it numerous times. I've wanted to meet her so bad for the past year. The story goes that when Russell Queerdom was here in New Hampshire last year, I didn't have my car yet. I couldn't go. I wanted to go because Kid was there, and I've been kicking myself about it. And I said, if I had the chance, I'm gonna go meet Kid. So when I saw this show pop up, I said, fuck it, I'm going. And then it gets announced that Kid can't compete and Kid's injured. I still went. I had a lot of fun. It wasn't fun being in the rain, but I had a lot of fun. Um, but I just, I do wish Kid was there. But one day, I've said it numerous times. One day, I'll be meeting Kid. And the thing that bugs me the most is the fact of that Kid was just as happy to meet me as I was to meet her. So her not being there was devastating, and I think she, at the time, and maybe even a little bit now, feels really bad about it because, you know, because she's been through so much and she's done so much in such a short amount of time in wrestling, and kind of beats herself up sometimes, thinking like she's not done enough or just kind of failed her fans in a way. When things like this happen, and kid, let me be honest with you. No, you ain't failed nobody. No, don't. You're awesome. You always will be. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope you're healing well. And when you come back to wrestling, it's gonna be fucking glorious because the wrestling world is worse off without you kicking ass all over the goddamn country and the world. Um, I want to thank, um, I want to thank a lot of my friends from Discord. Some of them also on Twitter, but I want to thank a lot of them. Health, Logical, Red, um, Ag. I can't name them all. There's so many. Between like the Tom Grassi server, the Urinating Tree server, USF, TSD, all this other stuff. You guys are fucking awesome. And I say this about everybody that's followed me on Twitter as well. The fact that you guys accept me for who I am and you have given me a platform to do what I do is fucking awesome. Because I grew up not having a lot of friends, barely having any friends really, through school. I got picked on a lot. Um, you know, People love pushing my buttons and all this other stuff, and I never really had an outlet to discuss what I wanted to discuss, and I have that now in more ways than one, and that same thanks goes to, all these different YouTubers that, that just interact with me every now and again. Like, you know, it still blows my mind that I have followers like Tom Grossi, Urinating Shri, Mike Korzemba, Flight Mike, um, and the Brandon Perna, and then 5 Points. Or no, Perna doesn't follow me. He's subscribed to me. Sorry, but still, um, and just interactions with all of them, and so many more. Um, It's legit insane, man. It's crazy. Twitter might be a fucking cesspool, but it's done so much for me. Um, and I guess the last proper thanks I want to give, again, it just goes to everybody. Every single one of you motherfuckers. Every single one of you. You guys have done so much for me, whether you know it or not. And I want y'all to be proud of yourselves because you guys have given the time of day to a small town New Hampshire kid with ADHD and autism who, honestly, if you told me this is where I'd be at years ago when I posted my first YouTube video, when I posted my first tweet, if you told me this is what like where I'd be at right now, I probably would have laughed at you. I wouldn't have believed you. It's just a testament to how incredible things have been, all things considered. And again, I can't thank y'all enough. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. Thank you all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.